any... We haven't ever talked this fucking...
Hey everyone, so we haven't done one of these in weeks because life. We'll just say life. I like how we just said that same
That's
exact
so
time.
true though. Life is
Life is life.
But we thought this would be a greater opportunity to do it today. We had some other things that were going on, so we're like, we need to do a sit down talk.
Some things that we can't tell you about.
No, we can't, but hopefully we can.
Well, yeah, hopefully soon.
We can.
Yeah, I hate doing that.
We'll be able to tell you eventually whether it's positive or not.
Not, yeah, happening or not happening.
Yes. Good. There we go.
There we go. I know it's annoying when people they dangle the carrot like that, but we have to dangle it a little bit.
We had a lot of people. So today we, obviously we like to ask you guys, like, what do you want to hear us talk about? Like, what's interesting to you? And we noticed that there was a lot of people that were kind of asking about updates on Zoe and how Zoe's doing, what's been going on with Zoe, how are the dogs, what's been going on with Zoe, how's she feeling? And we thought,
do we still have Rika?
Yeah, do we still have Rika?
This is number one.
She's still here, but
she's hiding. She's in a closet right now. I don't
but
know if she's
we thought that this would be kind of a good opportunity to not necessarily just do an update on Zoe, but kind of like talk about what life is like now with her.
I really wanted to make this video, or we really wanted to make this video, because I feel like there are some owners that feel like they have no other choice in situations like this where a dog becomes immobile. I wanted to kind of get on here with Allie and just kind of, explain what we do for her to make sure she's happy, and Zoe basically.
And like a normal,
Yeah, just a normal
kind of like
dog.
reassure you, because, it is a hard decision to make for people because they don't necessarily have all the facts, and we don't have all the facts, but we can tell you what we've learned so far
and what we do
and like how our day goes with her and how Zoe's day goes in general. The discoveries that we've made, not only like
we're still learning
on
too.
our own, but what we've discovered through like talking to you guys and what we've discovered talking to our vet.
Yeah, a lot of you guys have actually given us suggestions.
I think we're gonna start this with kind of okay, so Zoe, obviously you guys know, she is paralyzed on her left side, but her left backside is paralyzed. Her right backside is not at a full 100%.
Because she can't, basically what's happening is, because the left leg, the hip dysplasia on her back end, she's not able to put the weight on it, so then her right leg isn't able to support her, so then the muscle essentially, I don't want to say deteriorates, but the muscle doesn't get any stronger. Yeah. And Zoe's not a small dog.
It's something that's like completely livable with. She's not in pain. She actually can't. We haven't ever talked this fucking okay with. There's just some alterations in her life and alterations in our life that we've had to make, and we kind of want to talk about it. So start from the beginning. Kind of start like.
So I got Zoe. Zoe's gonna be 16 years old. Is it 16, right? And when I first got her, the first thing they said, because I noticed her like right at the very beginning, she'd kind of do this, that you guys have seen forever on the vlogs. Even if you go back in the old vlogs, they said that she has hip dysplasia back then, and then when she's older, it would progressively get worse. 2 years, we started kind of seeing a little bit less jumpy.
She would bounce with both legs at the same time.
Oh yeah, she would.
But she was still super mobile.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
We just kind of, she transitioned from a dog into a dog bunny.
Yeah, that's very true. But we started noticing for long walks that she had a harder time. She kind of like stumbled a little bit. And then at one point I don't know where we were, and she was having a really hard time. So we took her in. She's potentially going to lose the ability to walk on her hind legs because of the fact that the hip dysplasia is kind of crossing a little bit more, making it weaker because her muscles aren't like basically as strong as they used to, so therefore she can't hold up her back end.
And don't worry guys, she's just sleeping right now. It's late, we're filming this very late.
What we wanted to do is kind of just say what we end up doing, like how do we like handle a situation to where Zoe cannot get up by herself and she can't not do things for herself, because we've actually today we turned around, Allie's like, Zoe got up, and we're like,
it's just
that's amazing.
Clearly with Zoe not having the mobility that she has with her back legs, we had to figure out a way, like how can we get her around besides the wagon, because we still want her to have that independent side.
Yeah.
If she's okay with it, like that was the big thing we asked the vet, was like, how's her front end? Her front end's great. She's very strong. She's, able-minded. We still keep her active.
How's her brain? How's all the nervous system and like
great.
that? Everything's totally fine. Her blood's perfect.
things that would make her more independent as well. So let me explain to you what hip dysplasia is, because I think that's an important thing to explain first.
Yeah, yeah.
So because I think a lot of people don't understand.
We should definitely read it to make sure we say it the correct way.
Okay. Hip dysplasia is a common skeletal condition often seen in larger giant breed dogs. However, it can occur in smaller breeds. To understand how this condition works, owners first understand what the basic anatomy of a hip joint is. The hip joint functions as a ball and socket. In dogs with hip dysplasia, the ball and socket do not fit or develop properly, and they rub and kind of grind
so
instead
like
of sliding smoothly. This results in deterioration over time and eventual loss of function in the joint itself. Basically what they're saying is like hip dysplasia is more common as a genetic thing. Zoe kind of falls into the category of being
genetics,
like a German Shepherd-esque type of dog. When we wake up in the morning, kind of like throughout the day, when we just need to take her out for like to go to the bathroom quickly and then come back inside, it's a lot easier to have something simple rather than hooking her up into the wheelchair, which Char will talk about later, or just like carrying her around. We used to do that when this all first started, but we noticed it was like difficult on us and difficult on Zoe, and you're standing over her awkwardly, and then we tried a towel and that didn't work really well. We tried a t-shirt, that didn't really work well. Believe it or not, dogs with physical impairments, that is a very normal thing. We found this thing, which is kind of like almost, I want to call it like a hammock in a sense. So basically we put this under her back end, like just above her hips, right around where her hips are, and it has straps. And it's kind of like purse straps, and you can adjust it to your height and yada yada, whatever your comfort level is. Now Zoe, the great thing is we just carry her outside, we put this under her hips, we stand her up, hold her up, and she just starts walking. Like, it's really funny. It's like she doesn't even know that her backside is not working. And we just kind of walk around with her around the yard, whatever she really wants. We walk with her around the house. This makes it really easy to allow her that freedom without giving her, I don't want to say like full freedom, but like allowing her to get out and like move into what she needs to do without hooking her up into the wheelchair. This is like our day-to-day thing. So this is like something that we use often throughout the day with her. We'll put it in the description.
But then I did more research because I was like thinking, Zoe loved walking. She was very independent. She did all that stuff. She was very much like Marley. Basically, I was curious about if a dog wheelchair existed.
We did a lot of research.
Yeah, and we made many mistakes on them. I'm just going to tell you right now, don't go cheap. If you go cheap and you think like, oh, this is still going to work and stuff like that, don't do it. Just if you're gonna do it the right way.
Do it for the quality. You want to make sure you're getting the right quality.
The sturdiness. Cause I remember that first one was just like.
Did not work.
No, it's just like.
And we didn't at that point didn't necessarily need it. It was more that we just wanted to provide relief for her hips. Found this great company that had wheelchairs, and they answered all of his questions.
You send videos, they tell you if you're doing it correctly.
Measurements.
Everything. It's amazing. I'll put a link down there in the description too if you're looking at them. They have all sizes for little dogs.
Should I go get it so they can see
yeah.
I'm going to go grab it.
Literally, this is all it is.
And this is a new attachment that we got to it, and this is basically for her legs.
So there's a part that goes on her front, which clips into this, which attaches this, and then it's just like her shoulders are holding it up. That's why it's like level like that. So now it's her shoulders are kind of leveling.
But these become her back legs.
So this replaces her back legs, and it's held up by her shoulders, which are really strong. It's like working out. You're building up your strength.
You can't really tell because she's not in it, but that's the dog belly.
So now
it's the dog belly.
Yeah. That's kind of like what we have for this, and then these wheels are pretty amazing. She's gone up and down the curbs like crazy.
Like curbs, guys, like curbs that are like this tall.
Sewer curbs.
Like she wouldn't even, I'm telling you, it's almost like she doesn't realize she doesn't have function
until she hits a wall because it's so wide.
But this is like something that we use like when we go on walks. We did it on a hike.
But with feeding a dog who cannot necessarily stand up now, what you got to do is either want to hold them up with this thing, but I found not doing that because I feel like, somebody's holding you in your stomach while you're trying to eat. I feel like that's
a lot of pressure on your
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
tummy, especially when you're trying to eat your food because you're really excited about it.
Especially think about it, like if Allie's like got to pee and I go like this.
Like now? No, I'm kidding.
She's gonna pee herself. So I feel like doing that kind of thing makes her uncomfortable. So what Allie and I have been doing is we transitioned her to more of wet food. I feel like it's easier for her to like sit down and eat, and digest. And two, because she can't just get up and get water all the time, we bring her water every once in a while. The wet food has a lot of hydration in it, so that way if she's just eating dry food, like it obviously makes your mouth dry and you need more water. So we transitioned to that. So that was a suggestion.
Pull her bed. We want her to be comfortable because, you know, you have to remember that it's not just a change in our lives, it's a change in Zoe's life. So we need to make sure that she's as comfortable as possible and like feels normal. You know what I mean? Like we don't want her to ever feel like she's not normal.
It's an adjustment, like Allie said.
Changes,
it's, you know, it's not something like crazy, and I feel like a lot of people kind of look at animals like that as a huge end all like situations where like there's nothing you can do, and we didn't feel that at all on a Tempur-Pedic mattress.
Sit down, baby.
We don't have a Tempur-Pedic mattress.
Sit down, baby.
So we make sure that they're not in pain, they're comfortable, they're able to do the things they want to do normally.
And we get that reassurance from our vet, which I think helps us a lot too, because, you know, I think a lot of people can look at Zoe's situation and think that we're being selfish. But I can assure you that our vet thought it was amazing, and she's like, this is great to hear. She's doing great. There's just going to be adjustments you have to make. Taking her out, we just walk with her. These dogs sleep like 12 hours a day, I feel like. They're so tired because they're old. We had a carpet that was in here that was a huge carpet. I moved it over there, so it gave her more of something that was like a little bit more structured and a little bit more padded.
We have like tile, ceramic floors, so it's a little slippery.
We open the space up a little bit more, like even outside. Like when we're outside, we get her up and we move her a lot because she wants to move a lot.
That's a huge thing too. If you ever have a dog that's like this, don't let them just like
sit around.
Don't let them just sit around. She doesn't sit like this all the time.
Tonight.
Yeah, right now she's sleeping, obviously. But we take her outside. You've seen the videos. Like she sits outside with us. Remy's playing around. She's like throwing things and doing stuff, and usually she's trying to hide from Remy. To round it off, I'd say like, you know, the number one thing is like, it's not anything that much like that crazy.
I think it can be fearful for people. Like
it's scary. Trust me, I was very scared at the beginning. And I think the main reason why we wanted to talk about this is because this can be very scary for pet owners.
Kind of can be. Yeah. She's knocked over a few things.
Yeah, especially in this thing.
You've just seen her get out the door one time.
I was like a dum dum dum.
But she figured it out.
The wide angles.
She figured it out.
It's like us learning how to drive an RV. Wide angles. It's scary at first, and it's like very uneasy to hear like your dog can't walk. You know what I mean? Because at first your mind goes somewhere bad.
A dark place, yeah.
Yeah, it goes to a dark place, but then you kind of calm down and you're like, everything else is fine, right? I wanted to make this video with Allie because we wanted to just say, if you have a dog that's like this, don't give up. It's just, it's a little extra work, but I mean, it's your dog. I mean, you love him.
And I think your vet would guide you in the right direction too. You know what I mean? And that's why that was our first question, and we've said it already. We wanted to make sure that Zoe was okay and that this is something that she could live with. And our vet was like, oh yeah, she just, fine. You know, she just turned it back like
she's just as annoying.
Yeah, like it was like really like, oh yeah, no big deal kind of thing. And we're like, really? Yeah, no big deal.
If this is a situation, it's not the end of the world. So long as all those other things are fine, you're good to go. Hopefully this video is informative, and hopefully we kind of explain some things, maybe connected, and just give you a nice little
I wish you were awake to talk, but she's like,
yeah, she's got an embroidered pillow on Tempur-Pedic mattress, like I said.
And we just gave her like the biggest, best dinner ever, I swear.
She got a nice can of dog food. That's the other thing is.
And I cooked her dinner too.
And then she got Remy's scraps as well. So anyway, we're not gonna keep talking. Questions in the comments. We actually have a cool weekend ahead of us. We actually get the RV back tomorrow. It's true.
Oh my gosh, and you guys stay tuned. There's a whole bunch of RV videos that are going up on the Allie West channel.
Yeah, it's going to be great because then the new adventures of the Charles and Allie channel, the Trippies, will be in effect. Thank you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.